Hi guys, welcome back to the fourth process video of my new Scrapmingle series. So this is the last layout that I'll be sharing using the Poolside collection, and I've had such a great response. Thank you all so much for your kind words on this series and how much you're enjoying it. So it will continue, and you'll have to come back next Wednesday to find out what collection I'll be working with then. I'm not sure I'll be doing 4 with the same collection as long as this one, but we will see. So this is the Poolside collection, and then I pulled in product from my stash. If you missed anything, go back to the intro to see some of the products that I pulled in that would work with this. But for this one, I only had a few scraps left, and so I pulled a background sheet, and this is from the Cloud 9 by Color Book, and it's just a kind of pinky mauve background pattern paper, and then I have the zigzag stripe and the floral and the pink border that I punched with the large scalloped border. All of that is from the Poolside collection, and then that gray striped is another one that was in my stash. And so this photo is an old photo, and it is actually a Polaroid. And so what I did to scrapbook it is to flip it over, and you'll notice on Polaroids there's all those little seams, and your developing is inside of that photo. And so you need to make sure not to ever damage that seam or your photo will disappear. So I just simply took some washi tape and put over all of those seams all the way around, just as tight as I could, to seal that photo off, and so none of that developing will leak out for any reason whatsoever. And then I cut a white cardstock in the shape of a Polaroid and put over the top of that photo. And so even though it is a real Polaroid, I was able to seal it all up, so hopefully no damage will come to it. And I'm going to put my journaling onto the top of that. And then I went ahead and matted it with some of the gray diagonal stripe. And then I'm going to mat it again on some of the pink patterned paper from the Crate Paper Poolside collection. And then I just had some other small strips that you just saw me messing with, and I just wanted to put some little cluster up at the top and the bottom. So I just laid them out and played. I punched one of them with my small scallop punch from Close to My Heart. I love that small scallop punch. And just figured out what was kind of pleasing. So I ended up with a whole lot, and I just put a wider strip and then that scalloped piece, and then I kind of dropped it down a little bit and put that one with that butterfly, just so that I have a good little grounding for the rest of my embellishments. And then at the bottom, I just repeated that pink butterfly and put another little piece poking out behind it. So I wanted it just a little bit less than what was up at the top. Then I had some of the scraps that I had punched butterflies from, if you remember, and so I just pulled some of those out to put around on the layout. And I cut this tag piece from a piece of scrapped paper, and I'm just going to put one of the photo stickers from the Simple Stories collection onto the top of it, and it says, "This is just the beginning." And I put a hole in it so that I can put some thread through it. Inking everything with the black soot distress ink, so if you've been following along, then that is something that I do when I'm pulling lots of different collections in. I always try to ink the edges, and that just helps tie all of the different collections and the styles together. Here are some embroidery floss I'm just putting through there. And I try to cut this video really short, so I feel like I'm just like blah, 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 blah. So hopefully I'm not going too fast on this one. I'm trying to find a balance for everybody. And then I had all of these other sticker sheets from the Simple Stories, and they're from several of their collections, from the I Am collection, the Hello collection, and I'm just pulling out different ones. This color scheme on this one, I started with that floral patterned paper, and it has all of the colors of this Poolside collection in it. And so this is a multicolored color scheme, but as you can see, it's very pleasing and very restful to the eye because all of those colors are in small amounts. So I didn't like plaster the background with that big floral sheet or anything. It's all still very much my style and simple and just kind of clean, my version of clean, some not. And then these are some more of the word stickers, and I'm just putting those around. The little gold banner, that is from the Crate Paper Craft Market puffy stickers. And I just took all those triangles and I'm just going to put a little banner and I'm going to go ahead and put it up underneath that subtitle on the top. And that was another sticker from the Simple Stories sticker sheets, and it says "On My Way," and then the one above that says "Surrounded by Goodness." And then I had that little embellishment that has the E on it, and that's quite a bit older, well, 6 months plus older, and it's just been in my stash. It's the end of an ephemera pack, and so I was going to use it just for the E. This sheet here is from the Echo Park Hello Girl collection, and I decided to cut these little Scrabbles out, and I'm just going to cut them all apart for my title, which is going to be Hello Sweet Girl. And so that was one way to use that older product sheet but make it current, because if I would have just put that border on there, any scrapbooker would look at that and go, that's pretty dated, you know. But by cutting it up into the actual Scrabbles, it brings it into kind of the current trends and all of that. So it brings it up more up to date. And then I had this little label sticker, and it's from the Chickanitty Scrumptious Journal Tags. And I'm just putting it up behind my photo and I'm going to start my title on it, just kind of for a layer. Everything that I'm doing, this layout's very heavily layered. So there's lots of little tags and things that you'll see me working with and just tucking into all of these areas. But it gets really, really heavy with layers, but it's not detracting or anything. It's just helping pull in all those colors that I wanted to pull in. So this tag here, I had this, but I really didn't need another rectangular shape. If you look at all of the background papers and things like that, the tag, the title, all of that's very square and stuff. So I needed a softer embellishment, something round. So I really wanted to use it. So then I got thinking, I have my circle punch. I can just punch it out. So I just punched it in a circle. And now it's fitting much better into the composition of the layout. I had these wood arrows that I'm going to add, and I just have 3 pink ones left, and so I put 2 up underneath the little tag that's going to point towards my journaling, and then 1 at the bottom right pointing back towards my title. And so that's just going to close off those 2 areas. And then I'm just going to tuck in some other little pieces. But a little bit about this photo. This photo was taken when I was expecting my daughter. And at that time, they were just starting to do sonograms where they would do like videos. And so we've got to go in and find out that she was a girl, which I was expecting. I was pretty confident, but I was also afraid to get too excited because I had a boy, and so I really wanted a girl the second time. I wanted one of each. And so it was just so fun to go and get our first glimpse of her. And if you've been following along, I did a layout recently of her sucking, kind of chewing on her toes and telling that story of getting to see her this day, and that's what she was doing, was chewing on her toes. But just the excitement of finding out if it was a boy or a girl. My husband's reaction, he was quite terrified when they told him that it was a girl. He just didn't know what he was going to do. So I really wanted to get this photo documented, and like I said, since it is a Polaroid, I wanted to make sure that it was as safe as I could get it, because this is the only picture that we have of that time. I don't have a whole lot of photos when I was pregnant with her. I'm not even sure we really had a camera of our own. I don't know. So this was just a really, really special photo, and I just wanted to get it documented. So that's a little bit background behind the photos. Now, just to finish up, I have all of the composition pretty much done. I have, you know, all of my little embellishment clusters, and now I'm just kind of finishing off. This is when I go back and I start looking, do I have all of the colors repeated? So since I had that gold banner that's going to go up at the top, I wanted to get some of those other gold embellishments, and so there was an arrow, and I had it put up at the top, but I'm going to end up moving it down to where my journaling is going to go. because I was going to write the date on that little tag underneath the heart. So I needed to move that around, and so you'll see here at the end I've moved it at the bottom, I've added the heart, I've put the butterflies on, and I'm just using my small stapler to staple onto the top of those. And you'll notice here sometimes it's hard to get into places because there's not a long reach. I wish they would create one of these with a little bit longer reach. But if you'll just pick up your layers and put it in, that way I could secure those butterflies since they were just glue dotted on and be able to pull up the wings. So here are some close-ups of these photos. I hope you've enjoyed this beginning of this series. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more, and they'll be back every Wednesday for Scrapmingle, where new meets old. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon. Bye.